Well, fresh off their highest ranking in school history, the number 17 Lipscomb Bisons get set to open ASUN conference play as the Jacksonville Dolphins travel to Nashville to take on the Bisons. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nashville, Tennessee, the Lipscomb Soccer Complex. I'm Justin Seaman along with Noah Severson. And Noah, exciting to open up ASUN conference play for sure, and this is going to be a good one. Jacksonville, a team that comes in here maybe overperforming in the non-conference. They were a team that was picked 7th. They've only lost one game to Wofford. Lipscomb had a tough go of it on Tuesday night against crosstown rival Belmont. It ended up it being a draw, no goals in that game. It was 0-0. But other than that, Lipscomb undefeated besides that draw, and this is a very talented Lipscomb team.
Oh, super talented Lipscomb team, among the best, if not the best, that Charles Morrow has had in his time here in Nashville. They bring back pretty much everybody from last year's team that went to the NCAA tournament, that won the ASUN Conference. And what a way to start this 2022 conference slate, taking on Jacksonville. You've got the two reigning conference champions. Jacksonville won in spring 2021. Lipscomb, of course, won last year. So this should be a good one between the two defending ASUN conference champs.
Jacksonville enters in with a record of 2-1-1 on the year. They beat Detroit Mercy, Wright State. They tied with Detroit Mercy, Wright State. They beat UC Riverside. They won and then lost at Wofford. On the other side, for Lipscomb, they enter this match with an overall record of 3-0-1 and already a shot, and a nice stop there to start this one. And as I'm looking down, I look up and there's already a shot on goal.
That was Malachi Jones, who you were telling me about, Justin. I haven't gotten the chance to see Malachi as of yet this year, and everybody seems to be talking about this freshman from Christ Presbyterian Academy, and he immediately making his presence felt. Nearly had the first goal of the match 30 seconds in.
He was the 2021 Gatorade Player of the Year in Tennessee, so that is going to be a foul against Lipscomb. Lipscomb making some adjustments to their starting lineup, having a few different things. You talk about a Lipscomb team that is fully loaded. They're going to be starting some players that are really good, but then they're going to bring some guys off the bench that may be even better than some of their starters. We'll talk about that as we continue, as Jacksonville tries to get their first look in the offensive end. That one just out of reach that time for Sabali.
Yeah, Justin, you noted the starting lineup. How about Javon Smith getting the start on the ball right now instead of Dahlman, and Tyree Spicer also starting on the bench?
Here's Malachi Jones again. He gets into the box, tripped up a little bit, and now I think we're going to get a foul. I think it's going to be on Jones. He kind of got in there really deep, but he was at a tough angle there, Noah. But still, the pressure, the speed that Jones brings.
He's so quick. It looked like the captain, Joshua Arajo Wilson, kind of took the worst of that contact there. He appears to be okay, though.
That'll be a goal kick now for Jabari Gray, who's already made one save here, and we haven't even played 2 minutes of action. ASUN opener between these two teams. Already had a few games that have gone final in the ASUN. We'll keep you updated on those. Now with no overtimes in the regular season, not getting a tie is going to be important in ASUN play, so you want to get that win. Touch on the outside there, Noah Golden. He'll send it back.
You mentioned the overtime rule. That game against Belmont, the Battle of the Boulevard on Tuesday, those in attendance were kind of left wanting as we get another good service here into Javon Smith. But, here we go.
Here's Smith, one extra move. Maybe should have tried to take a shot, then went behind his back. Now he's down. You've got two Lipscomb players down. Smith is down, and I believe that's Louis Robinson who is down as well. And they're calling to get people out for Javon Smith. Louis Robinson is back up. You know, the interesting thing there, Noah, as we hope he's okay, I think they could have called a foul there with Louis Robinson, but because Lipscomb had the advantage, they didn't blow the whistle.
Yeah, you hate to see this for Javon Smith. He's making his first start of the season.
Is he holding his, it's hard to tell, is he holding his knee? All I know is it's never a great sign when you go down and then the other team's players start motioning over to get out here, because that usually means it's at least initially feared to be a little more serious than just kind of getting nicked up.
And everything that we've heard from the Lipscomb coaching staff in terms of how Javon has accepted his role this year, you bring in Dahlman, who kind of takes over the starting forward spot, and no complaints from Javon. He accepted that role of coming off the bench really for the last 10 to 12 minutes of games, came off the bench against Belmont on Tuesday, and now he gets rewarded with a start, and here just a couple minutes in, appears to be banged up.
He is walking, not completely under his own power, but he's at least walking. It doesn't look to have a huge limp or anything at the moment. Obviously, not going to play doctors over here, but so he's going to have to exit. Lipscomb will bring in a sub. You would think it will be Dahlman. I think that is Yeldrick Dahlman over there set to check in.
Bison fans will remember Javon's game-winning goal in the regular season finale last year against Central Arkansas here at home in extra time, a golden goal that gave the Bisons the regular season championship, gave them the #1 seed and the chance to host that tournament.
So Lipscomb will bring in Dahlman, and now it will be a throw-in by Robinson. He'll throw it all the way into the box. That one headed out, but Lipscomb will have a secondary look. No, they're going to say foul against Lipscomb.
Yeah, I think McAleenan kind of leaned in with his shoulder there to get the header. A little too much contact for the referee's liking.
The Lipscomb getting some early looks, and now they're going to have a turnover as Jacksonville. That's going to get into the box. Jones was looming, and let's see who touched it last. I think this is going to be a corner kick for Lipscomb.
That was so quick, and that just shows you how explosive this Lipscomb team can be. I mean, that's just one quick dispossession, a lightning quick cross, and Malachi Smith was nearly there on the other end of it. Malachi Jones, rather, sorry.
Early in the early in this season, as that ball is going to be headed away, I think we're going to get a second corner kick. What I was going to say, though, is only played a few games in the non-conference, but still, Jacksonville and Lipscomb are the #1 and #2 teams in corner kicks this season early in the non-conference. So it's definitely going to be something to watch.
And that's evidence of pressure, and that's evidence of taking shots and forcing, the defenders and the goalkeeper to make a play on it.
That one's going to get up. He got on the head, and now that one's going to be flipped up. Still not cleared, and we're going to get, whoa, they're going to go.
Wow.
Malachi Jones was down.
Wow.
We got a couple players down now.
That seems to be a cursed area of the field, Justin. How many bodies have we seen go down just in that
looks like
the left side of the penalty box? And now
Francisco Capellan is down. Francisco Capellan is down, and I think that's Malachi Jones who's down for Lipscomb.
Already some chippiness after the fact, too.
And we're going to have to kind of go back in the memory bank here, but I'm not gonna pretend to be an expert on who maybe the foul should have been on or who should have had the advantage, but it looked like, Malachi Jones got undercut there, where he looked like he was about to make a play on the ball.
Well, when the whistle came, Lipscomb fans were expecting that a penalty was going to be awarded, and obviously the motion went the other way. When things get chaotic down there in the box, there's bodies flying everywhere. It is tough for an official to diagnose just exactly who created the contact.
Right.
Should a foul be awarded?
And there's only one official in soccer.
Right.
Don't get me started on my gripes about different sports and what I would change. Every sport I've got some opinions on after calling all the games, and one of them for soccer is, you just got one person out there in the middle of the action. I understand you've got the two on the side, but still, a play like this, your officials on the side, they're not going to be able to give you any opinion. So the good news is it looks like Francisco Capellan is up and moving around, and Malachi Jones is slowly walking off the field.
Those are your two starting forwards that are now having to exit not even 5 minutes into the first half.
Now, the only good thing for Lipscomb is they've basically got the equivalent of two starting forwards on the bench. So
we'll just bring in the preseason ASUN Player of the Year and the guy who led the NCAA in goals last year off the bench. Looks like Tyree Spicer was kind of walking around, but he hasn't made an appearance yet.
And neither team has Now they're both going to go back in. So Malachi Jones is going to go back in, and so is Capian. So that's a good sign. Neither team went with the sub because they knew both those players were going to be able to come back in. So shaken up, I guess, is be the terminology that we'll go with there. But still, if you're Coach Charles Morrow and Lipscomb, you got to be pleased with the aggressiveness you're seeing so far.
Oh, it's been tremendous. I mean, Jacksonville right now is just trying to get it into the midfield and possess. And so far, Lipscomb hasn't let them do that.
Again, Lipscomb picked preseason #1 in the A-Sun. Jacksonville picked preseason number 7 out of 9 teams. There's 9 men's soccer teams in the A-Sun. But Jacksonville did receive 1 first-place vote. So, and then again, in the non-conference so far, Jacksonville's been very impressive. And it's not just been their wins. If you look at the stats they've had, they are very good offensively as far as you look at their numbers. I talked about the corner kicks. They're first in the conference so far in corner kicks. Shots per game, and shots on goal, all #1 in coming into this one. So this has been a very offensive-minded Jacksonville team so far this year. But now they're kind of having to play with fire here. When you talk about Lipscomb, it's kind of fire versus fire.
Well, and don't think that Jacksonville doesn't know that they were picked 7th. I mean, I was surprised when I first saw that poll, knowing their pedigree and knowing the talent that they have. And you look at the teams above them, and it's tough to argue. I mean, there's so many good teams in this conference.
A deep conference.
It's super deep. And you look at, 3 through 7, and you could really move anybody up. You think Lipscomb and Central Arkansas are obviously the 2 at the top, but everybody else is kind of angling for that next tier.
Lipscomb transitioning, goes left side to Robinson. Robinson will try to center one, gets it into the box, but that one's headed out by the Dolphins. And then a nice header there by Turari Tuguiti. We will do our best again. I apologize every time when I'm talking about rosters and names, especially with Jacksonville coming in here. That we do have a pronunciation guide, but there are a lot of challenging names, I will say. So it's Tauri Tuguate. This one's going to be cleared out. That'll be by Ronaldo Banks. Sabali tries to get it going towards the offensive end for Jacksonville, but back again in Lipscomb zone. Feels like we've played about 25 minutes of action, but we're only 7 minutes into this one.
Oh, man. That might have been a foul, but Lopez got back up, and he was prepared to deliver a ball to the corner there. Lipscomb definitely thought advantage should have been played.
They don't get that whistle for the advantage, but they do now get a free set piece. Not a bad spot for one. Looks like it's going to be Lopez and Golden who are going to be vying for it, one of the two.
Not too many guys in the country that I'd take over Noah Golden when it comes to these types of set pieces.
Golden is going to run past, and it'll be Lopez with the left foot. He'll send it in, and there's a goal. Hayes Wood, the header from Alejandro Lopez, excuse me. Alejandro Lopez with the beautiful kick into the box, and Lopez with the assist, Woods with the finish.
Well, the only thing prettier than that goal may have been the RKO celebration afterwards. A perfect delivery from Lopez, and Wood there to finish it off. I mean, if you're Jacksonville, you can't lose Hayes Wood there. He was wide open, and a guy the caliber of number 18, he's just not going to miss that too many times.
Hayes Wood, time of the goal, 7 minutes and 42 seconds in. And again, I just mentioned before that, it felt like we'd already played about 25 minutes of soccer here in the first half. Had only played about 7.5, and now we've got our first goal.
Well, a terrific start to conference play for Lipscomb. It has been a fast and furious first 8 minutes for these Bisons on the attack, on their front foot against Jacksonville.
So Wood gets the goal, the assist to Alejandro Lopez on the beautiful set piece. So Lopez, who was upset that the whistle was blown on the foul, now he'll send another one offsides as Malachi Jones. But upset that he didn't get the call to play the advantage, but then he does get the assist anyways.
Yeah, that was a perfect ball from Lopez. Spinning right towards Wood on the backside, the back post. And nothing that Jabari Gray could do.
Third goal of the year for Hayeswood, so he's now one behind Yeldrick Dahlman for the team lead. An embarrassment of riches for Lipscomb on the offensive end, for sure.
It's unbelievable.
Now a little counter opportunity, and that one's going to slip by. Onside will be Jacksonville. There will be a good look there, but just goes wide that time as the shot was taken by Musa Sabali.
Yeah, unselfish from Carson Wood there to kind of lay off of it, recognize that Sabali had the better angle, and you know, Musa Sabali, he had a goal on Monday against Wofford in that 3-2 loss. He's a guy that can score, and here on the right wing, you know, he's definitely a name that Lipscomb is going to have to keep track of.
It looks like Jacksonville will get possession. Now the Dolphins see what they can do to push back here. Kind of on their heels to start this game. Really didn't get a chance to settle into the match before they already found themselves down. And sometimes it's kind of good and bad as Lipscomb will try to turn and Yeldrick Dahlman draws the foul.
Well, he is such a tough mark. Dahlman is, I mean, 6'4", 185.
Going to get a yellow card against Ronaldo Banks. And what I was going to say is sometimes a blessing and a curse. It's great for the home team to get out to that early lead, but when you do it so quickly, there's still tons of time. And so Jacksonville, I think, just needs to kind of recollect themselves a little bit. They got plenty of time here. They just need to kind of get their legs under them here for a minute.
And one of the best qualities that Lipscomb possesses is the ability to make their opponent frantic. I mean, they are on you so quickly when the ball comes to the feet of a green jersey. Lipscomb is swarming. They're forcing you to make a quick decision, and just so far, Jacksonville has been trying to stave off Lipscomb attacks.
It's going to be sent down, and now you're going to get advantage for Jacksonville. This officials had to make some early whistles. This has been pretty aggressive, pretty physical so far, and that's what you would expect in an ASUN opener between two teams, especially two teams that have had a pretty good non-conference to start things off. 3 shots to 1 shot, Lipscomb in that advantage, and Lipscomb with the 2 shots on goal, and then, of course, the one that hit the back of the net by Hayeswood off Alejandro Lopez set piece. Lopez again puts one down on the right corner, and that one's going to be cleared out that time by Joshua Arroyo Wilson.
Yeah, he's going to be tested a lot. I mean, that's the Jacksonville captain. He's got that left back position. These Lipscomb wings are so good about getting around you and playing the ball in. And number 20 in green is going to have his work cut out for him tonight.
So Arroyo Wilson, excuse me. There's going to be one that goes off the head of Dahlman. I'm not even sure if that hit Dahlman's head or if it went off of I believe that's Francisco Capian as well who was in there, but still Dahlman with his size, he's like 6'4" in there, creates such matchup problems in the box.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of times defenders kind of get the benefit when they get asked to play in the box on set pieces. When you've got your forward that's 6'4" and can get up there with the best of them, that is such a big weapon.
There's going to be another corner. This one's going to get to the back, and that was Nick Dang who's made the start here tonight. A defense for Lipscomb who got a foot on it there.
Yeah, good hustle from Dang. Local kid out of Ravenwood High School, was a Raptor, and, you know, that ball appeared to be out of bounds, and Dang nearly kept it in play.
Ball's going to go off Lipscomb, so Jacksonville will have it in their zone now. Sabali to toss it in. Louis Robinson takes it away quickly, and nice little tic-tac-toe to switch sides, and Lipscomb will try to now get it back up the field. How quickly Lipscomb can get it out of their defensive end into the offensive end is pretty impressive.
Well, that starts with the wing backs. I mean, Noah Golden and Louis Robinson are two of the very, very best. They've been doing this a long time.
Michael Sibley will clear that away for Lipscomb. We haven't called his name yet, but he's important in goal for Lipscomb. Here's Sabali. Tugwewe and Sabali trying to play back and forth, but Yeldrick Dahlman gets it. Now it'll be Hayes Wood trying to work to Dahlman. Here's Lopez, gets it to Dahlman, then gives it back to Lopez, and he'll send it towards the goal, just to the right side. What a move, though, and footwork by Dahlman and Lopez.
Just a beautiful sequence, and it started with the dispossession here at midfield from Luka Nauman, and then we're off and running, right? It's transition. You get it to Lopez, fancy footwork, little give and go. Lopez with a shot on the right wing. That was a phenomenal sequence for the Bisons.
Just so fast is this Lipscomb team. Haven't played 15 minutes yet. We're approaching that here. That's going to be taken away again by Lipscomb. That one's going to be cleared away. That smart play by Jabari Gray. He had to come out and just clear that one because Dahlman was looming there right around the top of the box.
Yeah, heads-up goalkeeping there from Gray. Dahlman bearing down. Gray recognizes he has to come out and clear it.
Sibley will survey. Will Turner, who's always been steady for Lipscomb back there, kind of that last line of defense. See what Jacksonville can do. One of the things is Jacksonville just doesn't have much time and space to even make decisions the way Lipscomb is on you so fast. So that'll go advantage to Lipscomb. 5 shots to 1. That's the tally so far here as we approach 15 minutes into this first half. 1-0. Alejandro Lopez with the assist. Hayes Wood with the header in the back of the net off of a set piece. Here's Robinson now. You talk about a laser.
I mean, the way that he lied with his body to tell the defender where the ball was coming from and then flicks his shoulders to create that space, give himself a lane for a shot. That is just a heady move from Louis Robinson.
Gray got a fingernail on that one, and so because of that, Lipscomb will have the corner kick. This will be Lipscomb's 4th corner kick already here in the first 15 minutes of this.
This is where Noah Golden eats.
Will be Golden in the corner. Lopez comes up short. Golden sends one to the corner. Secondary look now for Nauman, and that one's cleared out. Lipscomb had 2 big bodies flying high, just couldn't get the head on it. How about this? Lipscomb now in the first 15 minutes of games have outscored their opponents 5-2 after that goal. You talk about getting off to a hot, quick start, 5-2. I mean, that's a recipe for success for sure.
Oh, that's huge, you know, and that's most of that is mental, right? I mean, that's just coming ready to play, going full throttle from the first whistle, and we have certainly seen that from Lipscomb tonight.
Well, and then we'll talk about this moving on, but they haven't allowed a goal after 30 minutes in a soccer game this year.
Wow.
So, you get off that quick start, but that's been the only opportunity that the other teams have had the chance to score on Lipscomb because their defense has really shut down the opponent. Already a couple of shutouts for Lipscomb this year. Here's Jones. He does beat the initial defender. Now battling in the box. Jones, that's going to be, yeah.
I mean, Ronaldo Banks.
Yeah, you just can't do that.
You can't, and he's frustrated. Jones is a short, speedy guy. He got around him on the corner.
But the initial there was some initial contact, and the referee let it go. But it was that secondary when you pull the jersey. You pull the jersey of the player.
To Malachi's credit,
yeah.
he sold it well too. And Ronaldo Banks, he's upset. He thought that it was physical both ways, and he feels like he's been slighted, which may be true. But when you're in the box like that, that's.
It's going to be Yeldrick Dahlman who's going to take the penalty kick for Lipscomb. Dahlman averaged 1 goal per game last year at Niagara. A transfer led the country in that department. And Dahlman is rejected, but on the secondary, he scores. Great initial stop that time by Jabari Gray, but nobody came in for Jacksonville quick enough, and the follow-up by Yeldrick Dahlman, he scores, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, it's a terrific first save from Jabari Gray. I mean, lunging to his right. And, for Jacksonville, that's really you can't defend that, honestly, because even if you're coming in, Dahlman has the head start.
Yeah,
he's
got
at the
the
spot,
advantage.
and he's got the angle, too.
And you really can't ask Jabari Gray to do much more than that on a penalty kick.
Right.
I mean, to get that initial stop, but, I mean, that ball is coming so fast. I mean, try holding on to that ball. The best case scenario would have been is if he could have really punched it and got it out there, but he was just trying to get some hands on it. It doesn't matter. Malachi Jones, really the reason Lipscomb able to get the goal there is because of Malachi Jones' play, his speed, his ability to draw that foul in the box, and then Dahlman gets his 5th goal of the year. So Hayes Wood was trying to catch up with him. He was 3. Now Dahlman's got his 5th goal this season for the Bisons.
Are there any questions remaining about if Dahlman could mesh with his new team?
Yeah, I don't think so. And graduate transfer, you talk about, these graduate transfers, and that's kind of become in recent history, kind of a new thing. But, man, you talk about every sport, these graduate transfers, some of them come in and just immediate, huge impacts on teams, and I think Dahlman would definitely be in that category.
I mean, McAleenan coming in, another transfer, Plutarchus, Alanefti. I mean, these are all guys that are getting significant playing time and have all been big-time contributors.
Yeah, but you talk about Yeldrick Dahlman. He led the NCAA, as I mentioned, in goals per game at 1 per game last year. 2nd in the NCAA in points per game with 2.07. Let's see Jacksonville. Sibley, though, able to cover that is nice. Nice recovery there by Dang, kind of got over there to cover. But then you look back at Dahlman, led the MAC in goals and points in 2021. He was All-MAC first-team honoree, and now we're going to get another.
This will be a red
card.
Yeah, that'll be, I mean, that's
Banks.
That's Banks again.
Because Banks had already been I think he was the one that got the yellow card earlier.
I don't know that he did. I mean, that was a straight red from the referee. Just a high kick that caught Jones there, and they're going to say.
Well, Banks was the one who
right
had
outside the box.
Well, Banks had the yellow card. He was the one who had the yellow card, but it may have just gone straight to red anyways on that play. But I'm just saying he did have the yellow card earlier at 10:01. So he's gone now, and Lipscomb is going to get another penalty kick. And this time they're going to let Malachi Jones, I think, going to let him take it. So Dahlman took Jones's last time. This time it looks like it's going to be Malachi Jones who's going to take this.
Well, the speed of Lipscomb on full display right now, and we talked about how that speed and aggressiveness forces opponent mistakes. And we've seen that now a couple of times with now 2 penalties being awarded because of mistakes in the penalty box from Jacksonville.
So Jacksonville now down a man here, 27-11 in the first half. And Banks was walking back towards the bench, but I think they're now escorting him back towards the locker room area. That was a rule they changed in college football. It used to be they sent the players to the locker room, when they got ejected. Now, they're not going to make you go to the locker room.
Well, that's a big loss. Banks is a junior from Jamaica, transferred to Jacksonville from Western Texas College. He's a big part of that back line. And
that's where you need all the help you can get against Lipscomb.
Down 2 goals right now with the potential of being down 3 goals, and you're missing one of your best defenders, and you're playing the rest of the match a man down. That is certainly not a recipe for success.
And you could be down 3-0 after this, potentially. So what a turn of events this could be. Malachi Jones, who's drawn 2 penalties in the box, he will now set up for the penalty kick. It'll be Gray again, trying to see if he can stop one. He had an initial stop on the last one against Deldrick, but Deldrick followed it up, swept it in for a goal. Jones kind of with his back to him now. He'll turn around. Here comes Jones. He's going to try go corner, and it goes off of the post, and that is a big break for Jacksonville there. It actually ricocheted, and it looked like, was that Golden coming in who had a second look there at it?
Yeah, Golden's going to regret that. He just put it a little too steep, but now that's 0 for 2 on penalty kicks, essentially. Of course, Dahlman was able to get the rebound on his try, but Jones puts it off the post, and Jacksonville at least has some positive momentum, has some life.
So Olivier Correa, will check out, and Jacksonville will bring in a substitution now for Correa, as checking in will be number 18 for the Dolphins. That's Shane Clancy, a freshman from Sicklerville, New Jersey. So you wonder that turn of events, if that could change, maybe try to swing the momentum a little bit for Jacksonville. They are a man down, obviously, with Ronaldo Banks getting that red card. So that'll be a challenge in and of itself. And now Lipscomb will be whistled for the foul. 10 shots to 1 shot here through the first 20 minutes of this one, Noah. Pure dominance so far from the Bisons, but again, it's a 90-minute game, so still tons of time for Jacksonville to try to get things together here. Got a lot to overcome, though. That one's going to get into the box. Dang heads it back out to the top of the box. Lipscomb will try to clear. Jacksonville will pop it back in. A little bit of sustained offense in the offensive end for the Dolphins. Trying to get a shot on goal, and they finally will get one. Sibley makes the save. I think that was Ed Port.
Yep.
So Ed Port with the left foot got a pretty good cut at one. Now here's Dahlman. Gets it to Jones again. Jones will just try to squeeze it past Jabari Gray. He does, and he was denied on the penalty kick. He will not be denied there, and it's 3-0 Lipscomb.
What a tandem. Dahlman and Jones, again, quick dispossession, transition, here we go. Off and running, Dahlman and Jones, see if you can stop us. The unselfish pass from Dahlman. I've already got my goal. Let's get you one, young fella.
Yeah, it's 3-0, Noah, and we haven't even mentioned the ASUN preseason player of the year, Tyrese Spicer, who hasn't come into the game yet for Lipscomb.
Justin, I legitimately do not know how you stop this offense. I don't.
Again, if you're just joining us, Lipscomb, highest ranking they have received ever, as they were ranked number 17 this year, as they were 23 before the week before, now ranked number 17 in the country right now. Lipscomb garnering those high rankings because they went on the road and beat the number 10 team in the country, St. Louis, a couple weeks ago. Sibley will just send that one sky high. Watch out as that one hits the trees.
Well, to go back to that goal, so you lose Ronaldo Banks, one of your top defenders. Where do you go on the attack? You go straight up the middle, and you force the Jacksonville defense to collapse. Unfortunately for them, Lipscomb just too fast, and a great one-touch strike there for Malachi Jones.
The overall series, this is the 27th meeting all time between Lipscomb and Jacksonville. This has been a very even series, very even history. As that ball is sent high, Robinson will try to clear it out. 13-12-1 is the overall series. Lipscomb leads at 13-12-1. Lipscomb has won 6 out of the last 10, so Lipscomb has kind of improved their record, but it's been a very tight series. Lipscomb 7-4 record at home here versus Jacksonville, but this is, I think, not unexpected that Lipscomb has come out here in the way they perform, but Jacksonville coming in, I think you and I both were thinking, okay, this could be a real shootout. What we saw numbers-wise for Jacksonville, just leading the conference in shots per game, shots on goal, but we just haven't seen it so far.
Yeah, and I think this is more so far, a reflection of how good Lipscomb is as opposed to maybe the struggles of Jacksonville. There's a great interception. Get yourself a free kick right outside the 18.
Yeah, and that's going to be a yellow card, too.
Oh, a red.
Red card, wow.
A straight red.
Okay, well, I don't know if the...
That's McAleenan they gave it to.
Okay, so
And so he's obviously ruling that a clear goal-scoring opportunity.
Okay.
That would I mean, that's
so
what
now,
would force
so
the
now
ref.
things are even again.
It's a brand new ball game, Justin.
I mean, this is so McAleenan will have to exit now. Adam McAleenan, we mentioned he was one of those transfers at Lipscomb, and now that was that. I think it was Musa Sabali. Was he the one that was taken down?
Yes.
Or yeah, I think it was Sabali. So it's just outside the box. So they'll have to get. I don't know if they're going to wait. You know, last time they waited until Banks got almost exiting close to the field. I don't know if they're going to wait here or not. Now Lipscomb does have a 4-man wall. Ed Port, and I'm trying to see who the other player is. I think that's Olivier Correa. Yeah, Olivier Correa is there. Correa is the leading goal scorer. He's got 2 on the year for the Dolphins. It will be Port, and that one's headed off the wall. No helmet there.
No.
Got a lot of football going on today, but no helmet there, and that ball was coming in fast. So a break for Lipscomb there, but both teams have had a player ejected due to a red card. And now, and this is a little bit of a product, you've got Gray coming out. Because you've got your 1-man down, your goalie kind of may need to extend a little bit to help just moving side to side because you're losing that backline defender potentially. Here's Sibley now. 22 minutes left to go here in the first half. Still 3-0 game. And Malachi Jones with a goal, Hayes Wood with a goal, and Yeldrick Dahlman with a goal for Lipscomb. And now coming up limping is Hayes Wood. Didn't see much there, but he's hurting on that left foot.
Yeah, he is still right now, and Lipscomb's going to play it out.
He's not moving, though.
No,
he's going to go down.
He's going to go down.
So Wood's down on the ground, but Lipscomb does have the advantage, so they're not blowing the whistle. Here's Jones. He'll send another one towards the corner of the goal, but that one's way high, and so now they're going to blow the whistle, and Hayes Wood, he is favoring that left, looks like his left foot, if I'm going to guess from, about 100 yards away.
I couldn't quite tell what that was. I mean, he got the foul issued to him. He was kind of pushing off on the Jacksonville defender, and then, after they disengaged is when Wood felt something and wisely just stood still and then went to the ground.
It looks like it's going to be Tyree Spicer. So the aforementioned A-Sun preseason player of the year will now enter the game. Tyree Spicer at 21 minutes and 20 seconds. And you talk about a challenge for Jacksonville. If you thought you were dealing with some speed with Malachi Jones early in the game, now wait till Spicer starts coming at you with some fresh legs.
Well, and Spicer was terrific in that match against Belmont on Tuesday. I mean, he was creating chance after chance, had a couple good looks at goal that would have broken what ended up being a scoreless draw. Obviously did not find pay dirt in that match, but he was putting so much pressure on the Bruin back line.
Spicer trying to put some pressure there.
That's a great run from Trey Demps.
And nicely cut off that time by Nick Dang.
Trey Demps, the Jacksonville native, I mean, he almost went coast to coast there. It's a little give and go and created that corner.
I mentioned the team that was leading coming in with corner kicks is finally going to get their first one of the game now is Jacksonville. Make correction, that'll be their second of the game. does get past the initial wave of defenders. Jacksonville coming in had 33 corner kicks coming into tonight. Under 20 to go here in the first half. Opening ASUN match for both of these teams. Here's Spicer. Now he can show you that speed. Look at Spicer go. Unbelievable how fast he is, and dribbling the ball, and sends one, almost puts it into the right corner of the goal. Lipscomb will maintain possession. To move that fast and get that much on the ball is impressive. Now ball into the middle. Here's Lopez. That one will get sent back out, and now Dolphins will try to counter. But just talk to the speed of Tyree Spicer, but then to get that amount of, push on the ball.
He was just gliding. He makes it look so easy. There's nothing easy about that when you're going full speed and you deliver a ball across the box like that. And credit the hustle of Dahlman to track it down and keep it in play as well.
Jones putting pressure on Gray. Robinson heads it back into Lipscomb's end. Nauman plays it off what might have been a handball, not sure. Here's Spicer now. 3 Dolphins will corral around him. Here comes Louis Robinson. He'll get into the offensive action. Gets it into the box. He'll look to center it. No, he just goes hard down the line and earns a corner kick. Well, actually, I'm sorry, that ricocheted back off of Robinson. So he got the initial contact he was looking for, but then the ricochet back off him, it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, fine run from Louis. Recognized that nobody was stepping up to challenge him, so once he got around Sabali, he turned the corner, went towards goal, and forced them to come up and make a play.
Alejandro Lopez will exit the game, and checking in for Lipscomb will be, I believe, number 11, Burl Shepard. I thought it was Shepard. Yep. So Shepard comes into the game. Lopez had the assist on the first goal for Lipscomb. A nice pass there. Here's an opportunity. Great save by Sibley. Shot there by Ed Port, who had a good look. That ball got to Sabali in the middle, and then Sabali had a good pass to the right side to Port. But Port is rejected by Sibley.
That's good on good. A terrific first touch from Port to kind of land the ball, and then he took a step to his left and fired a shot, and Sibley, tremendous save between the pipes.
Ball's going to be sent into the middle. Jones taps it back, but nobody home for Lipscomb. That's a nice little idea if you got somebody ready for the run.
Well, and Dahlman was ready, but he recognized that he was offside, and so that's why he didn't go for it.
Nice play there by Dang to cut that one down, and immediately, that's what I've been so impressed with Lipscomb, how quick they are to transition from defense to offense. Just waste no time.
Tell you what, I've been impressed with Shane Clancy in the back line for Jacksonville. He has become involved in a ton of plays early on here, and obviously a lot on his shoulders now with the absence of Ronaldo Banks, and so far he's been up to the task.
3 goals from Lipscomb. Hayeswood got things going. Then it was Yeldrick Dahlman on a penalty kick. Then Malachi Jones had another penalty kick opportunity as that one gets past here. Spicer. Spicer, left side, trying to make a move. He does. Tyree Spicer centers it. There's Jones, and he was trying to get some open area. Burl Shepard moves it over, and Noah Golden, what a pass to Yeldrick Dahlman, but they're going to say he was offside. Oh my goodness, that was so pretty.
A lot of unselfish soccer right there from a lot of Bisons, and great delivery, and Dahlman, I think, was maybe a little bit offside. He was wide open on the back post.
Noah Golden with a picture-perfect pass, but Dahlman just a little bit hard for him at his size to hide. And so he was offside, but still, beautiful play started by Tyrese Spicer. Before all that, I was saying Lipscomb's had 2 penalty kicks in this game already. Dahlman scored not really off the initial shot on the penalty kick, but off the rebound. Then Malachi Jones had a penalty kick shot that went off the post, and then Malachi Jones just scored the old traditional way and got the 3rd goal later on. But Lipscomb has really controlled here in the first half for sure. Looked like that was Dang going down, but he'll get back up. Play will continue because Lipscomb had the advantage. Just Jacksonville has just not been able to sustain anything in the offensive end. They've had flashes of good looks, but Lipscomb has just put so much pressure on the offensive end and sustained it that Jacksonville seems like every moment they're just trying to collect their breath.
Right, yeah, they've spent most of this first half fending off chances rather than getting the opportunity to create their own. But I like this right here. You know, quick passes in the midfield and then take a deep shot.
And going to be offside, I think, is Ed Port, but you like the idea if you're Jacksonville for sure. Port put a good look on that last chance he had. Under 15 to go, first half action between Lipscomb, the preseason favorite in the A-Sun, and Jacksonville, who did receive a first place vote. They were voted preseason number 7, though, in the A-Sun. Robinson will play pitch and catch with Will Turner. Both teams still down a man, obviously, because of the 2 red cards. It was Ronaldo Banks and it was McAlean for Lipscomb. Nice ball down. Yeldrick Dahlman gets it. That was going to be just a fantastic over-the-head pass to Tyrese Spicer, but able to keep it out was Jacksonville. Dahlman trying to get it back. That's going to be Robinson, I think. Yeah, foul on Robinson. He kind of gave the business that time to Musa Sabali, and Sabali is down.
Yeah, Louis Robinson does not have a ton of friends around the A-Sun. I can say that pretty confidently just over the last 2 seasons. He's a physical player. He's exactly the type of player that you want on your team, but he is not shying away from physical contact.
Yeah, he threw a shoulder into Sabali for sure. So Sabali's up. That's a good sign. Had a lot of players on the grass here in this first half. Been a very physical first half. A yellow card and 2 red cards issued. A couple of fouls have occurred in the box by Jacksonville. 2 penalty kicks for Lipscomb. Jacksonville trying to get maybe Lipscomb to loosen up a little bit by getting it back and forth, but Lipscomb has held pretty good structure.
Yeah, they've got the 3-goal lead. They're in no hurry.
That one sent deep. There is Sabali, and this time it'll be Sabali, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going to go the yellow card against Musa Sabali. So I don't know if that was a little bit of kind of, hey, I just got shoved by you down. I'm going to kind of go return the favor, and I think that's what the
I was kind of expecting that. I mean, when no card was issued to Louis, you kind of got the sense that maybe Sabali would try to take justice into his own hands.
Here's Turner. Trying to get it to Dahlman. Nice little touch there, and Robinson. That one's going to be popped out of play and into the stands. Tyrese Spicer.
Tell you what, for being a big body, Dahlman has an array of touches off his foot. I mean, he can play with spin. you know, you think you see him and you think, oh, this is a power strike guy. You know, he's gonna throw missiles at the net, and he has showed that he is a deft passer in transition and just has a lot of different tools in his arsenal.
David Robinson, freshman, 5'7", from Port St. Lucia, Florida, will check in for Jacksonville, and Plutarchus Alfinetti will check in for Lipscomb. He'll come in for Yeldrick Dahlman.
Don't see number 77 on the pitch too much. It's not a traditional soccer number.
That will be Plutarchus, though. Plutarchus, transfer from the University of Charleston. Another one of those big transfers that Lipscomb brought in. There's Nauman. Tries to send one wide. That was a little deceptive kick there by Nauman. And again, there's a lot of space in the middle because both teams are down a player. I think we're gonna get a yellow.
I was wondering, you know, that foul by itself may not have necessitated a yellow, but the referee counting up, you know, the times that he's had to warn Louis, and that finally brought about the card.
Well, and you wonder too. He had the I'll call it a major foul down here where he took down Musa Sabali, and then Sabali gets the yellow. So you kind of thought the next real shove or something by Louis Robinson was going to result in a card. No way around how physical this one has been here in the first half. Under 10 minutes to go, first half action. For as physical as it's been, the scoreboard dominated right now by Lipscomb, 3-0. Shots, Lipscomb out shooting Jacksonville here in the first half, 14-4. 7 of Lipscomb's 14 shots have been on goal. Dang will battle over there on the far side. And I think that was last touch by the Dolphins. Be a throw in for Lipscomb. Jones just misplayed that one a little bit off his foot, so it goes right back to Jacksonville. They'll throw it in now. Dolphins into the box and cleared out quickly by Will Turner.
This has been a methodical minute or two for Jacksonville here as they work the ball up the field.
2 balls on the pitch at one time. Got to blow the whistle for that. Jacksonville was trying to get the advantage quickly to keep moving. 8 minutes to go here in the first half remaining. Here's Plutarchus Alfinetti. Alanefti, excuse me. Alanefti that time getting it back. Malachi Jones, he's played this full first half and he's still got a motor. Nice ball there. Turner will have to try to cover. That one's going to be centered, but way long. And really, you know, that's the thing is when Jacksonville's gotten a decent ball, they're just not getting the offense down there in time because it's been spending so much time defending.
Yeah, and that was David Robinson, you know, just in off the bench. Pretty eager to get out there and try to make an impact and put too much on that one, obviously.
Under 7 to go. First half here in Nashville at the Lipscomb Soccer Complex. Beautiful night here, Saturday night, about 72 degrees. We had a lot of, I wouldn't say heavy rain, but kind of like a light rain, but it lasted for a long time, probably all the way up to midday, and then early afternoon cut out. But that's kind of maybe raised the humidity a little bit here with all that moisture we had, but it's not a super hot evening. Here's Plutarchus now. Sends it, tries to cross it to Spicer, but it will earn a corner kick.
To your point about the rain, I'm actually pretty impressed with how the field is held up. I mean, it looks pretty good. Obviously, we've seen a lot of guys go down, but that's been the result of contact.
Not been a lot of slipping.
As opposed to slipping, that's right.
And then the other thing, too, is a lot of times you'll see, just a lot of divots, a lot of, and not seeing a ton of that either. So it looks like it's going to be Noah Golden to take the corner for Lipscomb. And coming in, and that goes off the crossbar. That was dang. Oh, my goodness. Could you be any closer?
He thought it was in. I think it bounced on the white line but didn't go over.
What another chance for Lipscomb, as Dang thought he had a goal. That one off the head, crossbar, and then I think you're exactly right. It bounced right on that white line but then popped out. It didn't go over it. But again, Lipscomb keeping the pedal to the metal offensively. Golden going to touch it back to Sibley. Sibley sends a pop fly into the air. That one's sky high. Lipscomb so quick with their passing. Louis Robinson was calling for that. He's got a lot of room to work with now. Touches one down. Low to Spicer. And how about Nauman there? Cuts that one off, and there's Spicer who heads it. That one turned into a quick chance. Here's Plutarchus. Alanefti to Spicer. He'll get it off the head of Gray. Gray blocked that one with his head.
Jabari Gray is putting on a show right now in goal.
And I mean, Lipscomb, it's just like wave after wave of offense coming at Jabari Gray right now.
Well, it happens in an instant. I think you hit the nail on the head when you said with another quick chance, because it has been a ton of quick chances for Lipscomb in this first half.
I mean, you can go games, like multiple games without this many chances that we're seeing from Lipscomb here in the first half.
Justin, they have 17 shots.
And we're talking about, again, Jacksonville coming in, top team as far as shots and shots on goal coming in. Again, it's a small sample size, but still, this was not a team in Jacksonville that was not accustomed to putting up some offensive numbers themselves. Again, approaching 3 minutes to go in the first half, Lipscomb with a 3-0 lead. They're trying to really put the, nail in the coffin here if they could pick up that fourth goal. Here's Spicer. He'll work right side. Deliberate. Goes across to Golden. Golden just mishandled that one. And now we got a player down. I was wondering what the call was. We're going to get a substitution.
So Olivier Correa, who's going to have to come off.
And I think coming in for Lipscomb, trying to look and see who it was there. I'll get you the number in a minute. Going to get a couple substitutions, one for Lipscomb, one for the Dolphins. We'll try to get it for you. Under 3 minutes to go first half. Seth Highfield will come in for Lipscomb. Number 31 for the Bisons. Highfield, 6-foot junior from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Prepped at Boyd Buchanan in Chattanooga. Here's Spicer. More room. Puts a big boot into it. Kind of a sliding grounder there. That's one of those things that you talk about a luxury. He was trying to figure out which club he was going to pull out of his bag there. You know, he had enough time to kind of consider, am I going to go high right, high left, low, you know, and he so much time there.
Yeah, that's one of those, you recognize that he has teammates to his right, so if he can, you know, put a screaming liner on the ground, maybe glance off of Jabari Gray, even if it gets saved, maybe someone is there for the rebound.
And now we're going to get a foul called, and
I think Louis Robinson had a handful of jersey.
And you wonder now with that yellow card how many fouls are going to now give him before a red comes out.
Well, that's why he's got to be careful.
That was pretty clear. I mean, that was going to be a major advantage to the goal that time.
Yeah, he's already got the one yellow. The referee has his eye on him, so to speak. And so if you're Louis, you got the 3-goal lead. Just preserve yourself for future matches as well. You don't want those to add up.
That one's going to get into the box, but it's cleared away pretty quickly by Dang. Now in the secondary opportunity, here come the Dolphins, trying to make something happen in under a minute left here in the first half. Dolphins with about 45 seconds to work with here, trailing 3-0. And now Lipscomb will have the ball. So that will probably do it for the first half. Lipscomb drawing the foul, under 30 seconds to go. Lipscomb deliberately taking as much time as possible here, trying to finish out this first half. You're going to get a big kick from Sibley, and that will probably do it for the first half. Talk about an impressive first half for Lipscomb. They have outshot Jacksonville 18-4 in the first half, and they lead this one 3-0, Noah. Goals by Lipscomb. It started out, it was Alejandro Lopez with a nice set piece assist to Hayes Wood at the 7:42 mark, and Lipscomb didn't look back from there. 2 penalty kick shots. Yeldrick Dahlman had the first one. It bounced off of Gray. Nice initial save. Dahlman then followed it up with a goal. Then Malachi Jones earned a penalty kick. That one missed wide off the right post, but then he was able to earn himself a goal at the 19:55 mark, assisted by Yeldrick Dahlman. But I don't know, dominance may be an understatement for that first half.
Just relentless pressure for Lipscomb in that first half, and Dahlman and Jones were two massive parts of it. You see Javon Smith go down pretty early with that injury. You bring in Dahlman, and just that tandem of Dahlman and Jones, and then you bring in Spicer too. Alejandro Lopez was excellent in transition, and just an eventful first 45 minutes. Jacksonville kind of left reeling a little bit. They get a break with that red card for McAleenan that evened things up. Both sides obviously playing with 10 men apiece now. But Lipscomb, just an impressive first half for them, and certainly a well-deserved 3-goal lead at the break.
Jacksonville will look to regroup. We'll take a timeout, 15 minutes, and then we will have second half action. Lipscomb on top of Jacksonville, 3-0 here in the A-Sun opener. Welcome back to the Lipscomb Soccer Complex. Justin Seaman alongside Noah Severson as we get set for second half action between Lipscomb and Jacksonville. And Noah, probably some questions to be answered for Jacksonville here to start this second half. They had they didn't have 45 minutes. They had about 15 minutes to regroup after a pretty rough first half. Lipscomb dominant in the first half, 3-0 the score. What do you think message was maybe at halftime for them?
I think it's got to be incremental progress. You're not going to be able to erase a 3-goal deficit all in one swing. You're going to have to work away at it. And I think head coach Mauricio Ruiz, who's in his 8th season at the helm, he's taken this team to the tournament before. He knows what he's doing, and he knows that this is certainly an uphill climb. 10 on 10, this isn't certainly, a situation that you typically have in weekly practice, right? You're not typically running, 10v10 in your scrimmages, and so we'll see. It's a bit of an odd situation, certainly. We'll see if the physicality continues for both sides. But if you're Jacksonville, you're hoping to get a goal, and then you're hoping that kind of lets loose the gates and take some pressure off your defense, because that back line has certainly been getting run at and attacked all night. And so if you're a midfielder for Jacksonville, if you're on the attack, you're hoping to buy your defense some time, buy them some breathing room.
Bad news for the Dolphins is Lipscomb has outscored their opponents in the second half this year 4-0. So no goals has Lipscomb given up in the second half this year. And I think part of that is just Lipscomb kind of plays defense with their offense almost. It's not that they're, you'll see some games and some teams where it's like, this is kind of one of those just lockdown defensive teams, very defensive minded. Lipscomb's got a fantastic defense, but it just gets overshadowed because the offense is so good.
Well, and their defenders contribute to the offense. I mean, Noah Golden and Louis Robinson, those are two of the guys on the wings in your back line, and those are two of the guys who are arguably your best passers on the team, as we see Golden try to put one up the line.
Dang, that one got right in his stomach there from Noah Golden. Yeldrick Dahlman had a good first half. One player we haven't seen again is Javon Smith, and Javon Smith got the start, and then he went down early in this match in the box, and he did walk off semi under his own power, but you hope that he is okay.
Well, and certainly, with this game situation, you don't want to rush him back in. You just want him to be healthy and, and ready for the rest of the conference slate.
Now it's going to be a penalty against Jacksonville, and I was actually looking down. I didn't see what happened there.
Yeah, I think Nauman kind of caught a knee in the midsection.
18-4, Lipscomb outshot Jacksonville in the first half. Just an unbelievable number. 9 shots on goal. Lipscomb had 5 corner kicks. And think about this. Jabari Gray had 6 saves in the first half. And I say all that because Gray is actually not in goal right now for Jacksonville. They haven't updated the stats, but they do have a new goalkeeper in. That's number 28.
Christian Sekanina is taking over for Jabari Gray between the pipes.
Freshman 6'1" from Einring, Germany. So I thought Gray, I didn't think the first half 3-0 score was Gray's fault.
No, absolutely not. I mean,
I thought if anything, he kept it from being 6 or 7-0.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he got banged up a little bit or if Coach Ruiz just wants a different look in goal.
Now we're going to get another yellow card issued. We've had a lot of cards issued here, and it starts again. That one's going to go against Tuguete, excuse me. This has been physical throughout, and it starts off the second half the same way it was in the first half.
Two teams with a lot of history, two teams that have played each other close many times over the last several years, and you certainly expect a conference opener to be physical. If you had said that there was going to be a handful of yellows and a couple of reds, that might have been more than people were expecting.
Here's Jones. Jones sends one to the goal, and Sikanina able to stop it. So Christian Sikanina in goal now makes his first save. Jacksonville try to figure out a way to just sustain some offensive pressure against Lipscomb. That was, they had few chances in the first half. Oh, Tyree Spicer, what a move, and then he's cut down at the top of the box.
Yeah, good challenge there from Jacksonville. Spicer was able to get around a couple green jerseys, but couldn't quite tell who that was that stepped up and firm, nice tackle. Good, clean soccer.
Dahlman able to challenge there, and Jacksonville will have the ball. Long ball there, and Dang able to get the head, but see if Jacksonville can do something here. And you would think if Jacksonville's going to make a comeback in here, they need to kind of strike here in the first 10 minutes just to get something going.
Yeah, at this point, if you're Jacksonville, you're just trying to win the second half, and that starts with a goal, obviously. And they had a couple good chances in the first 45 minutes, a couple good runs. They put a little bit of pressure on Michael Sibley at times. It just wasn't consistent enough to, be able to get converted into a goal.
There's going to be a shot towards the left side of the box, really not necessarily on goal, but they were trying to see if they could find some room there for David Robinson, the 5'7" freshman. There's Turner, gets it to the middle. Sikanina comes out way out of the goal. Just naturally down 3-0. Jacksonville's going to have to take some more chances. And you're really playing with fire if you do that against Lipscomb. But you got to do it down, but again, you are playing with fire.
And that's why, to go back to a stat that you brought up, that first goal for Lipscomb and scoring as quick as they do, that's why that's such a crucial stat for them, is that they can kind of put teams in an awkward position where then they try to overextend, and Lipscomb is so good at making you pay from just a simple mistake. Their quick strike counterattacks are just so dangerous.
Mentioned earlier on other games going on. A couple other games tonight in the A-Sun as Jones has got some room and he's cut down. And they're going to say no foul. Lipscomb wanted a call, no foul. At least the fans wanted a call.
It looked initially like advantage was being played. I just didn't see too much advantage there with Jacksonville's defense set up.
Jones has been a problem for Jacksonville, that's for sure. His speed has been something to contend with. There's a nice ball there. And a crosser into the middle, and the save by Sibley. Good chance there, as that was Ed Port, I believe, coming over, who got a foot on it.
Yeah, Ed Port upset, and he's a little bit slow to get up, and he gives a thumbs up. That was a great chance for Jacksonville there. Nicely done, nicely turned, and Port just a few inches away from opening up his account tonight in Nashville.
What I was going to say, though, before that, We do have two ASUN finals that have gone on. One of them tonight, another one previously. Stetson got a win against Queens. They won that game. They now have been awarded 3 points. You get 3 points for a win in the ASUN and now with no overtimes, it's basically just going to be 3 points or no points. And so they got 3 points, and then Liberty a winner tonight against Bellarmine. So both of them in the win column, and then Lipscomb on their way right now, but still a little over 35 minutes left in this one. There's a nice ball into the middle, and Dahlman tries to direct that towards the top right corner, just can't get it in.
Kind of boxed out the defender there. I think he was posting up on Joshua Izu, a freshman from Washington, D.C., and nearly was able to flick it in.
Central Arkansas and North Florida scheduled to play tonight as well. There's Port trying to collect a ball there near the top of the box. Jacksonville trying to set back up. 10 minutes gone here in the second half. Port again into the box. Now put one on, and Sibley made the diving save. Really nice save that time by Michael Sibley.
Terrific again from Port. I mean, that's a lot of white jerseys, and he was able to create an avenue for himself. I think he wishes he could have done more with that shot attempt, but obviously great save from Sibley.
Sibley with a boot. He gets that one almost all the way to the other end. Looked like Sikanina was about to have to make a save on that punt. That one's going to go to the far side. Louis Robinson's had to maybe temper things a little bit. He got a yellow card in the first half. Did get whistled for a foul here early in the second half, so he's got to be careful. Don't want to get that second red card issued against Lipscomb.
I like the way that Jacksonville has started this second half. I mean, they've gone blow for blow with Lipscomb so far, and announcer's jinx is unable to play the ball on the near side.
If you didn't look at the scoreboard right now, you would kind of just, if you thought this was 0-0, you'd kind of think, well, you know, Jacksonville looking pretty good to start this half. Problem is they're playing from way behind the 8 ball. Robinson tries to get it back near the middle. Dahlman. First half, so impressed with Dahlman with his size, the skill that he's still able to play with. Because a lot of guys, you know, just kind of imagine a little bit of a one-trick pony with that size, just using their size as their major advantage. But he's had a lot of variety in touches we've seen from him.
Yeah, he is terrifically skilled, and he kind of showed that off with that little pass in transition to Jones that led to the Malachi goal. He really can do it all. He is certainly not, as you said, a one-trick pony. He can strike with power. He can play the ball in the air. He's a stable facilitator as well at the point of attack. Just a really good all-around player.
Sikanina plays it out in front. Nice header there. Trying to get it touched to Jacksonville. That'll be Lipscomb ball. I think over there, just trying to see who that was for the Dolphins. I think it's Carson Wood who was battling over there for Jacksonville. Definitely more action here in the second half, though, in Jacksonville's offensive end than we saw in the first half.
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of benefiting from, you know, a little bit more open space with it being 10v10. 2 fewer bodies on the field, and so, you know, they've made the most of it, and I really like what I've seen from Ed Port on the attack. I think Jacksonville has looked a lot more patient. They've taken their shots and taken their chances when they get them, but for the most part, strong and steady here as they've been working the ball up against the Lipscomb back line.
Cole Reason over that time. Tried to save it for Jacksonville, but he slipped over there in the corner. I think the first thing, and this is why, and we talked about Lipscomb getting on the board so quickly and how they've had such an advantage in the first 15 minutes of games. You put another team on their heels, it's hard to get off your heels. Just mentally, you get on your heels when a team is just pressing, and then now they've started the second half not on their heels. They're attacking, and so it's going to take some pushback for Lipscomb, and I think that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, they've certainly settled in, and you come in, you're amped, right? You're playing the 17th ranked team in the country. You're playing on the road in front of a big crowd. Everyone's trying to make an impact. Everyone wants to be the hero, and Lipscomb, they get a ball in. Malachi played that off his arm, I think.
Yeah.
But Lipscomb just looked comfortable from the jump, and they were the aggressor. Obviously, they knew they were trying to defend their home field, and Jacksonville. It's just been two different teams to start that first half as opposed to start the second half, and it's worth noting that Lipscomb has certainly changed their attitude now. Up 3 goals, they're not necessarily swarming to the ball in the back line like they were early on,
right.
And that's allowed the Dolphins to become more comfortable. But Jacksonville has certainly taken advantage of having a little bit more breathing room.
Yeah, it's not the prevent defense yet for Lipscomb, but they have, you can tell, have played a little bit more, if you can say that, a little bit more conservatively here to start the second half. Just over 15 minutes gone in the second half. There's Reason over. That one ricochets off of Noah Golden, so it'll be a toss in for Cole Reason over. Now we're going to get a lot of substitutions coming in. Alejandro Lopez, Seth Highfield, and Plutarchus will check in for Lipscomb. And coming in for Jacksonville, number 7, Musa Sabali. And I think, was that Olivier Correa as well? Or no, 31. That's Hunter Outerbridge, I believe. So Outerbridge checking in for the first time in this match. And again, the weather not that hot out here, but you can feel the humidity because of the rain we had earlier today.
Unfortunate handball in the box right there. With Port out, it's really going to fall on Savali now to kind of take up that offensive load. Port, really good minutes to start that second half. Sabali got his rest, and he's going to be counted on heavily. And the aforementioned Hunter Outerbridge as well, freshman forward. He's kind of at the point of attack now. We'll see what he can do.
Nauman knocks that one out. Reason over will toss it back to Sikanina. Jacksonville again been more aggressive to start the second half, but now time not a friend of theirs. Sabali, nice touch there. That was one of those, doesn't look like anything's happening, and then all of a sudden it looks like a chance for Jacksonville.
Well, that was a great ball played in by Shane Clancy from the back line on a dime up ahead to Musa.
Outerbridge, a little give and go. Here's Outerbridge on the right side, trying to work it to the box, gets the crosser over to the middle, and that one's sent wide. Carson Wood that time. Sibley was tracking it the whole way, and that's going to earn a corner kick. That one was ricocheted off of a Bison.
Yeah, I think it got deflected at the point of the shot, but another nice chance created by Jacksonville. They're moving the ball well. They're finding feet.
Be Musa Sibley. Or excuse me, Musa Sabali. It's Michael Sibley, who's in goal for Lipscomb. Got Sibley and Sabali. Michael Sibley has had to make 4 saves in this match. Nice header out there. That was dang. Secondary chance, and that one's going to go wide. So good defense by Lipscomb on the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. They've defended set piece as well. It's certainly a mark of Coach Charles Morrow. Always has his players sound and ready for those set plays. I want to go back to you noting Michael Sibley and how good he's been. You know, he certainly has the benefit of really good defenders in front of him, experienced defenders in front of him, but he is a brick wall. And he always, you know, when the defense does break down, he always seems to be in the right position, making the right decisions, and he's got great instincts back there.
And it helps Michael Sibley, the ASUN preseason goalkeeper of the year as well. He's recognized because of how good he's been. But it helps to be that pitcher that's always pitching with a lead. And it seems like for the most part for Michael Sibley, a lot of the time he's back there in goal with a lead. And now we got a lot of bodies on the deck, and Lipscomb had an advantage, but there is a penalty call, and Lipscomb's kind of, again, Alejandro Lopez was upset in the first half when this happened to him. When the whistle was blown, he thought he had an advantage, but it worked out well for him in the first half. Now are they going to give a yellow card, another yellow card, or is that just
they're just trying to break up that scrum right
Gotcha.
there. I think Lopez and Tuguete were exchanging words.
Now we've got a player down. It was, I believe that's Joshua Aroha Wilson, and he will check out. So number 13, Maximum Pensack, will check in. Pensack from Orlando, Florida. It's going to be Lopez. This looks pretty dead on center from eye angle.
Yeah, a lot of options here for Lopez. Wouldn't completely rule out a shot, though it's probably more likely that he'll play a pass here. Got a couple options on the wings.
Shepard is going to put one towards the goal. Wow, Burl Shepard. He sends it over the goal, but that one for a second looked like Sikanina was going to have to make some sort of a play on it.
Well, credit the Jacksonville back line for holding right there and not getting flustered and trying to retreat.
Robinson will cut off that cross pitch pass. Lopez weaving around. Shepard goes to Plutarchus. Alan Nefty tripped up, but not enough for a whistle. Reasonover now will try on the counter.
That's stout defending there from Reasonover.
Jacksonville on the counter. Here's Reasonover. Kicks it back to Sabali, and he's offsides. Really best looking opportunity for Jacksonville on a counter attack, but it was offside.
Terrific counter there for Jacksonville. And, you know, the ball played a little bit behind Reasonover as he tried to flick it for Sabali, and just a hair offside. And you saw the dismay from Reasonover falling to his knees. That was all started by him. A terrific tackle here as a defender. Then he started the break, ran the whole length. And Jacksonville certainly holding their own here in the second half, just have not been rewarded with that elusive goal.
Big boot from Michael Sibley. And I believe that might have, not sure if it was play with a hand or just a penalty there, or advantage given back, and now coming all the way out, Busikanina. Now we're going to get Nauman is going to be issued a yellow card. A lot of barking going on between these players as well.
Yeah, Sean Kwakwa, that was not a good time. When he first went down, he was in a lot of pain.
Yeah, you could hear the I could hear it from up here.
Yeah.
Problem for Jacksonville, though, is the time is ticking down, and they're still down by 3 goals. Here's Reason over. Easily headed out by Noah Golden. Lipscomb trying on the counter now. Plutarchus trying to reach down and get in front, cut off nicely by Jacksonville, and now Plutarchus is taken down, and really that was a little unnecessary by Jacksonville, and now a yellow card is going to be issued to them because Plutarchus had got down there on the right side, and I think it was Outerbridge who gets the yellow card. He came back, and I didn't really see that there was a need for that because Jacksonville had some defenders retreating.
Yeah, that's one where you're just trying to get in his way, and credit Plutarchus for kind of weaving through and drawing that contact. I thought that was a great touch from Highfield in transition to get it out in front of 77 there.
So Plutarchus, Alfinetti, and Alejandro Lopez, see who's going to take it. It's going to be Lopez. Sends it a little long, I think intentionally, but then he was trying to get somebody for Lipscomb on the back line there. That one's going to be the middle, and dang, just misses wide left.
Second chance tonight for Dang that he has missed by mere inches. First it was here on the other end, had one off the bar, down on the white line and out. This one tried to kind of flick it up and over towards the corner and couldn't quite locate it. But, you know, as a defender, you relish those few opportunities that you get during the course of a match. And Dang has had 2 tonight that he'll be thinking about well into tomorrow morning, I think.
Hunter Outerbridge will check back out. Ed Port will come back in for Jacksonville. Port had some good minutes and then got a little breather. Now he's back in for the Dolphins. Under 22 minutes left in this one. Jacksonville down by 3 still. And Lipscomb going to be content to any chance they get to just keep possession. Been impressed, though, with Nick Dang. Not just those 2 offensive opportunities, but defensively, I think he's been pretty good back there for Lipscomb.
All right, you think of who normally mans that spot. Scott Golden obviously has not appeared tonight, and Dang has performed really well.
Plutarchus is going to go down again, and about the biggest divot I've seen tonight off that fall. Far side, Louis Robinson tries to touch one down. Lopez tracking. And now,
yeah, I think that's the right call. They're gonna knock Noah Golden there for playing the ball while he was down.
So the ball be given to Jacksonville.
That's actually Nauman, sorry, who was playing the ball while he was down.
Luca Nauman was issued that yellow card not too long ago. Sibley will come out, and just better safe than sorry on that one with Sabali tracking in. Big punt there from Sibley again. And that kind of early momentum of the second half for Jacksonville is Lopez now. Chance for Lopez in the box and cut off nicely. But that early momentum for Jacksonville has kind of cooled off a little bit. I mean, they're still kind of playing even for even with Lipscomb, but again, I think a lot of that, the circumstances are dictating that for Lipscomb. Nice header there by Nauman. The other thing, too, you got to remember is Lipscomb playing right now, and I'm not trying to slight anybody, but Dahlman's not out there. Tyree Spicer's not out there. Malachi Jones is not out there. So really Lipscomb's top 3 forwards are not on the pitch right now.
That's right. And you know, certainly an opportunity for Highfield as he is, you know, kind of further down the depth chart when you consider the names above him, but getting some good run, you know, in the conference opener shows the trust that Coach Morrow has in him. And certainly, you know, the stakes maybe not as high as they were in the first half, and get some guys who normally aren't getting a ton of playing time, get them some reps.
The other name we didn't mention either who's not out there, and this one may be a little bit more concerning, is Hayes Wood, who had the first goal. He exited. There's a nice ball in the middle, and Plutarchus Alfinetti gets the goal, and Lipscomb takes a 4-0 lead.
Wide open net for 77. He doesn't miss it. Buries it in the back, and Lipscomb
cruising.
Flexing their muscles offensively, certainly. This has been a showcase, and if there was any doubt, you know, as to whether or not the Lipscomb that had shown up in the non-conference slate was going to continue into the conference slate, I mean, this is a wagon, this Lipscomb Bison team.
Plutarchus Alanefti, assisted by Louis Robinson. Time of the goal, 71 minutes and 39 seconds. I'm probably just going to start calling him Plutarchus, because about the time you get Plutarchus out, trying to get Alanefti out at the same time. But Plutarchus, big-time goal there. Louis Robinson with the assist for Lipscomb, and that may have been the nail in the coffin for Jacksonville. Still about 18 minutes to go, but the hill to climb was already steep. It's just gotten a whole lot steeper. But before that, what I was saying is the one that's concerned is Hayes Wood, because Hayes Wood got the first goal for Lipscomb. He's been, you talk about, you know, Mr. Consistent, Mr. Steady for Lipscomb, and I think, I'm maybe making some presumptions here, but like the flash you may have from your Tyree Spicer, your Malachi Jones, and even Dahlman doing it, Hayes Wood just kind of gets the job done a lot for you, and he kind of went down, was favoring his left foot, leg, not sure exactly what, and he has not come back in. It could just be precautionary, but that's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Right, yeah. I mean, if this was a 4-4 game, who knows if we see Javon Smith, who went down earlier, obviously. Hopefully those two guys are okay. But, you know, there's not too many teams in the country, Justin, who can lose their 2 starting forwards in a game and somehow look just as good and put up 4 goals in the ensuing minutes and in the ensuing match.
Lopez, Alanefti thinking about number 2. He's going to try to go back corner. He was trying to find Highfield.
Oh, Highfield could smell it. He could smell it on the back post. Laying completely out to try to get a foot on that ball.
Shepard with it now in the middle for Lipscomb. Touches it back to Dang. Noah Golden, just don't forget him. He was named, I think it was his 3rd ASUN Preseason Defender of the Year award. Just his 3rd. You mentioned Scott Golden, his brother. Got 2 sets of brothers. Levi Jones, Malachi Jones, his brother, is also on the team. So it's kind of interesting. You got Noah and Scott Golden, and then Levi and Malachi Jones.
And what a big boost it was when the Goldens, you know, made that decision to return. They were honored during Senior Day, I believe, last year, and decided to come back. And huge pair, a pair of brothers that mean so much to this team.
It's going to go out. And now yellow card. It's going to be Burl Shepard. I think maybe taunting would be. He came up clapping, and I think he was clapping in the vicinity of a Dolphins player is about all I can say on that one.
Justin, we have had 2 red cards and 7 yellow cards in this match.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was losing. Yeah, it was against Burl Shepard. So the card situation is this. Ronaldo Banks got a yellow card 10 minutes into this game. Since that time, we had a red card issued to Ronaldo Banks. Adam McAlean got issued a red card. Then Musa Sabali got a yellow card. Louis Robinson got a yellow card. Turai Tuguete got a yellow card. Luka Nalmans received a yellow card. Hunter Outerbridge a yellow card. And now Burl Shepard with a yellow card. That's a lot of cards.
Yeah, we talk about athletes needing an ice bath. You know, after a tough physical match, the head referee might need an ice bath after having to reach into his pocket so many times tonight.
Nice ball there. Highfield gets it to Lopez, and what a save by Sikanina.
An unbelievable save by Sikanina. I mean, he was coming to his left because Lopez was coming. And that was a surefire goal if he doesn't get a fingertip on it.
I was just about to say that Jacksonville has actually outshot Lipscomb here in the second half 5-4, but now with that shot it's 5-5. But still Lipscomb getting the 1 goal here in the second half. And now Tyree Spicer checks into the game for Lipscomb, and we'll get a corner kick for the Bisons. That one cleared away by the Dolphins. Here's Turner with a nice ball into the box and trying to get a header over to Highfield. They're trying to figure out a way to get Highfield a goal here.
They are, yeah, and he's certainly willing to oblige. He's trying. It amazes me, Justin, just how good the passing skills are for everybody on the team. I mean, these guys on the back line, that ball from Will Turner a few moments ago, terrific. We know what Noah Golden brings, the type of balls that he can deliver. Louis Robinson back there.
They make it look easy.
It's such a
Here's Spicer. Nice touch there. Trying to find a crosser into the middle to Highfield. Spicer again, and just kind of maybe a half swing there and still puts a fastball towards Sikanina. Under 13 minutes left to go in this one. Jacksonville been running out of time for a while now, but now they're really, the gas light is moving towards empty for sure.
Good touch there for Nick Dang, preventing that ball from getting to Musa Sabali.
Will result in a corner kick. So here comes Jacksonville with a corner kick. They had 33 corner kicks, led the A-Sun coming into tonight. And that one headed out of the box. Actually, I think that was Alejandro Lopez who got a hit on it there.
He's had a terrific night. He's got the assist, obviously. Been a great facilitator. He's had a couple good looks at goal as well.
If you're looking ahead, Lipscomb fan, next action for Lipscomb is going to be next Saturday. And that'll be on the road in Lynchburg, Virginia. Lipscomb will be traveling to Liberty, and way things are going, it looks like both of the two teams are going to be 1-0 heading into that one, which that'll be interesting. Lipscomb has never lost to Liberty. They're 5-0-1 all time against the Flames.
I will say that match last year here at Lipscomb Soccer Complex was a dogfight. Liberty gave them all that they could handle, and Lipscomb, I believe, obviously since they haven't lost to Liberty, they must have won that game, but I do remember it came down to the wire and was back and forth. Plenty of goals scored in that one.
On the other side for Jacksonville, they will have their ASUN home opener against Florida Gulf Coast. That'll be on Friday night, September 16th. And so they will have Florida Gulf Coast. Then both Lipscomb and Jacksonville will go at a conference following that. Lipscomb will be traveling into SEC country after that on September 20th. They'll be at Kentucky, so that'll be an interesting matchup for sure for Lipscomb.
Yeah, Kentucky's a top 10 team, so I mean that's certainly another opportunity. They already have one top 10 road win on the season with that win over St. Louis.
It's going to be a top 25 matchup.
Yeah,
Could be
huge.
And on the other side for Jacksonville, they'll be going and playing. They'll be not going, but they'll be playing at home against Georgia Southern on Tuesday, September 20th. Nice look here, and Sibley again with a save. Michael Sibley trying to keep the scoreless streak alive in second halves for Lipscomb. They have not allowed a goal in the second half this year.
Gets a fist bump from Nick Dang, deservedly so. Ed Port, man, he's been oh so close on a handful of occasions, just hasn't been able to break through.
Lipscomb looks like they're going to bring Yeldrick Dahlman back in. And I think was that, yeah, it was Luca Nauman who checked out for Lipscomb. Big corner there, and I think that went off Lipscomb's head. So, but this time it'll be a throw-in for Jacksonville. Under 10 minutes left in this one. Lipscomb appears to be cruising to their first ASUN victory.
Yeah, this has been a statement tonight for Lipscomb. Obviously the book not completely written yet, but just so impressed with the way that they control tempo, with the way that they create chances, and then capitalize on those chances. I mean, certainly that last touch is the most difficult, and this team doesn't seem to have too much trouble with that finishing touch.
Should be a foul there. Tyree Spicer. And they're not going to call Lipscomb. They're not going to whistle Lipscomb. Maybe it was because the ball was kind of already played, but still.
Yeah, that answer's not going to satisfy a Dolphins fan.
No, I think I'd be a little upset if I was Jacksonville on that one. Tyree Spicer looked like he gave a little forearm shiver there. So assuming things hold the way they are, Jacksonville will drop to 2-2-1 on the year. Lipscomb would improve to 4-0-1 on the year.
Justin, a lot of coaches like to break up the season as Port, over his head.
Yeah, Ed Port, I've liked his game for sure.
He's a good player.
Little hurdling move there. Sibley will come away out just to clear it away because things were getting a little helter-skelter there for a minute for Lipscomb.
Yeah, just to finish up that thought, you know, a lot of coaches like to think of the season as three separate seasons, right? You've got the non-conference, you've got the conference, you got the postseason. Obviously, with college soccer, it's a little bit different because you're still playing non-conference games in between conference games. But certainly, if you think of the first phase of the season as being a success, Lipscomb going unbeaten, this is a great start to the second part of your season, the start of conference play as they look to try to go back-to-back in terms of that regular season crown that they were able to clinch on the very last night of the regular season last year here at home against Central Arkansas.
Ryan Winquist Redshirt junior will check in for Lipscomb. And I believe there was another substitution. I could be wrong, but try to catch that. But I know Winquist came in. Approaching 7 minutes to go in this one, and now another whistle. Moving the Dolphin back. You get away with that sometimes, cheating up a little bit farther, but that was a little too far. Reason over, punches it back. I don't know how much this game is indicative of what this Jacksonville team really looks like and how they'll perform in the A-Sun. Again, kind of hard to tell because I just thought that first 20 to really the first half, Lipscomb was just on. And when Lipscomb's on, it could make some good teams look not so good.
Yeah, I think it's still early for this Jacksonville team. They've obviously had some good results in non-conference. They're going to look at the film of this one, and see what went wrong and get better for it. And they've got big matches upcoming. You mentioned that one against Florida Gulf Coast. That's going to be a hugely important one as they try to determine, what their destiny is going to be, what this season is going to look like. But certainly, you go on the road against the number 17 team in the country, on paper the best team in the conference, and you hope to compete, you hope to go blow for blow, and sometimes it doesn't go that way. And Lipscomb has proved tonight that, they are the preseason favorite for a reason.
Well, and I think the thing that's so scary about Lipscomb, too, is, you see a team like this with so much offensive skill, you might think, oh, a little bit more finesse. This is a physical Lipscomb team. Like that, these forwards, Yeldrick Dahlman, he's a physical presence there. And then you've got the speed and athleticism of Jones and Spicer. And then you talk about Hayes Wood as well. I think he's very physical. And then that backline defense, Lipscomb, they are extremely physical back there.
Well, it's an embarrassment of riches. There's not really a weak spot on this roster when you go up and down and you look at the rotation of guys that they send in there. It is terrific what they've got to work with.
Jones gets back to the middle. Oh, off the crossbar. What a chance by Malachi Jones. And, first of all, he moves from the end line back to the middle to work in a shot.
He is special. He's one of those guys, when he's got the ball at his feet, something is going to happen. There's never a dull moment when number 20 is at the center of attention.
He left the crossbar shaking after that one. He was trying to put the exclamation point on this match. Under 5 minutes to go. Nice touch. Plutarchus tries to cross one, centers it in, headed out. And Jacksonville is ready to almost just kind of say enough is enough right now. But Lipscomb continuing to press. Yeah, again, I'm not an expert on the X's and O's of soccer, but it is just from watching, trying to find like where is some of the weak spots on this Lipscomb team? Like where do you try to attack? Because Tyree Spicer, and not sure what the whistle is, but a penalty call there. But I'm trying to figure out kind of what's the recipe to beating Lipscomb. What do you need to do? You did see Lipscomb play against Belmont to the draw, so that's kind of been the closest thing.
Yeah, I think Belmont did a really good job of not backing away from Lipscomb, and I think the fact that it was a rivalry game certainly helped, but they didn't buy into maybe the mystique and the reputation that Lipscomb has, and that's that's a big part of it coming in. I think Jacksonville bought into that maybe a little bit with how this game started in terms of they let Lipscomb be the aggressor. And I think one of the reasons why Belmont was able to play Lipscomb to that draw is that they were just as physical as Lipscomb were. They possessed the ball. They didn't shoot themselves in the foot with quick, easy mistakes. And even doing all those things, Lipscomb still had chances. So you're not going to be able to completely take away or shut down, the Lipscomb Bisons. But I think, the blueprint that maybe Belmont put down on paper was you really have to be – you certainly have to have the skills, on your roster. You have to have guys that can hang with these Bisons in terms of talent. And then you just have to play error-free, which is easier said than done.
Yeah, a lot easier. and you wonder if it's more of a kind of a situation. I mean, we've seen a lot because I think if you try to just go toe-to-toe, full-on offense versus offense, I think Lipscomb may have more horses than you. I think maybe if you have the ability to really just play some shutdown defense and then try to get that, that one or two counters, where you could maybe get Lipscomb defense kind of cheating up in the offensive end, but other than that, if you just try to go toe-for-toe offensively, I'm not sure you're going to be able to put out on paper another team that's going to have in the conference as much talent as this Lipscomb team.
Yeah, I think we've seen that evidence tonight. I mean, we kind of read off the offensive prowess that Jacksonville had the reputation of coming into tonight, and certainly they, on paper, have the weapons, to compete offensively and score a lot of goals, and it just hasn't worked out that way tonight.
Another yellow card. Why not, for good measure? I think that's going to go against, Plutarchus Alanefti, who has the lone goal here in the second half for Lipscomb. I would say the second half for Lipscomb, there's been stretches where it's kind of one of those things where, if I'm making the car analogy, for the most part in the second half, they've just kind of been in cruise control. They've had moments where they've taken it off and kind of put their foot back on the gas pedal. That's that Alanefti goal. But other than that, it's kind of just been a little bit of cruise control, as that was close to being as close as you can get to an empty net goal in soccer. Under a minute to go, and Lipscomb's going to get the ASUN opening win against Jacksonville. They'll earn 3 points in the standings. But more importantly, too, a lot of this is still early in the season, and you just, you want that trajectory to continue to move upwards. And
right.
I think they've taken a step forward here in this game against Jacksonville.
Well, and they have a tough stretch coming up, at Liberty, at Kentucky. Those are two really big opportunities. They'll be favored against Liberty, although that's always a tough place to play. And then a really big showdown with Kentucky, who I think they can hang. Obviously, I'm not breaking any news here that they can hang with Kentucky. But, that's part of it, is that they've played so many Power 5 programs over the past couple of years. They have that experience of going on the road and taking on some of these big-name programs. That's going to be really interesting. I'm hoping that they don't look past Liberty and looking forward to that Kentucky matchup. But a pair of really good road contests coming up for these Bisons.
Well, impressive victory tonight for the Lipscomb Bisons. They get the ASUN opening win against the Jacksonville Dolphins. Scoring started out like this. Hayes Wood led things off at the 7:42 mark, assisted by Alejandro Lopez. Then it was Yeldrick Dahlman off of a penalty kick. The rebound he put home. Then Malachi Jones gets the third goal, assisted by Yeldrick Dahlman. Lipscomb led 3-0 at the break. And then in the second half, Plutarchus Alanefti, assisted by Louis Robinson and Alejandro Lopez, and Lipscomb dominates with the 4-0 win. Lipscomb outshoots the Dolphins 26-11. We mentioned the next action for the Bisons is going to be on the road. They will travel to Liberty next Saturday, 6 o'clock start. That'll be a game between two teams who got their opening wins in the ASUN. Should be a fun matchup. Next action for Lipscomb here at home at the Lipscomb Soccer Complex will be in 2 weeks. And I believe, Noah, will you be back on the call with me? Maybe, we'll see. 2 weeks, I don't know. I'll be back here with you on September 24th. That'll be against Queens. First time Lipscomb will face off against the ASUN newcomer Queens. But impressive victory from Lipscomb tonight. they take down the Dolphins 4-0. Lipscomb improves to 4-0-1. Jacksonville drops to 2-2-1. For Noah Severson, I'm Justin Seaman saying so long from Nashville. Your final